everybody! Welcome to another Zero Streams art and whatnot. I'm Zero. Thanks for joining me tonight as we continue our Pokemon Family series. Whoopla! Alright. Let's take a look at today's family, the Shroom family. Shroom. Well, it's not quite the Shroom family. It's just Shroomish. it's a little bit Shroomish. But yeah, it is in fact the mushroom family. Kinokoko. That's a cute name in Japanese. It's got such an emoji-like face, you know, like this is just the straight bracket, the colon, and less than sign. It's smack that right on that Pokemon. It's a good face. It's a good face. I don't use it nearly enough. My favorite face is the XD, though lately I've been a big fan of the little X3 because that's been my mood a lot recently. Anyway, let's look at the biology, shall we? Shroomish is a small Pokemon similar to a mushroom. It has beady black eyes and a half-triangle-shaped mouth. Its upper body is beige with frilled segments along the bottom and a small opening at the top. There are green spots marking its upper body, while the lower body is completely green. It has small round feet and no visible arms or hands. When it senses danger, it shakes its body and scatters toxic spores from the top of its head. These spores can make trees and weeds wilt and cause the whole body pain if inhaled. Shroomish lives in tropical forests. During the day, it hides under fallen leaves in the shade. It eats composted soil in forests, which is made up of fallen, rotten leaves. So it's at the bottom of the food chain, I guess. Well, are decomposers part of, like, at the bottom of the food chain, or I guess they're at the end? Are they part of the food chain? Because they're the cleaner-uppers of the janitors of the natural order. Oh no, look at this sad Shroomish. Wait, is that... Hold on. Is that a tiny spoink? Do you see that spoink? Like right here. Why is there a tiny spoink? I'm so confused. No, Shroomish, don't eat the spoink. Let's see. So Ruby and Sapphire say the Shroomish live in damp soil, darkest parts of the forest, found keeping still under fallen leaves. This Pokemon feeds on compost that is made of fallen, rotten leaves. If Shroomish senses danger, it shakes its body and scatters spores on the top of its head. These Pokemon spores are so toxic, they make trees and weeds wilt. Weeds I can see, like, you know, but trees, that kind of scares me. Like, just imagine the Shroomish spreading its spores and then this big old oak just shrivels. It loves to eat damp, composted soil. If you enter a forest after a long rain, you can see many Shroomish feeding on composted soil. It prefers damp places. By day, it remains still in the forest shade. It releases toxic powder from its head. These spores cause pain all over if inhaled. Oy. Let's see if X and Y have anything new to say. No, pretty much the same. The damp soil, rotten leaves, Alright, well, not much to be said there. It's a pretty standard mushroom. Deadly if you breathe its spores because it's a poison. Though it's not a poison Pokemon. Even though it's a mushroom, it's actually just grass fighting. Or rather, Shroomish is grass. Kinogasa! Breloom, the mushroom Pokemon. Breloom is a bipedal, mushroom-like Pokemon with some kangaroo-like qualities. Most of its body is green, but its head to its neck and its tail are beige. I like the word beige. It's a nice color, and it's a fun word to say. Beige. On top of its head is a green mushroom-like cap with beige gills underneath and a round red berry-like growth. A round berry-like growth. It just has one? With a hole in the middle on on either side. I got confused for a second there. It has oval black eyes, a beak-like mouth, and frilled segments around the base of its neck. There are 2 red claws on each of its hands and feet. At the end of its tail, there are seed clusters made of hardened toxic spores that are horrible to eat. I wonder if those seeds on the end are also cause pain. I don't know why anyone would eat them. Breloom can stretch its short arms to deliver fast punches. Additionally, it has light, springy footwork that allows it to get close to opponents. Another way it closes in on opponents is by incapacitating them with spores released from the holes in its cap. Its technique is equal to that of professional boxers. It prefers to live in tropical forests where it feeds on decomposing trees and plants. It's got that stretchy arms. I never knew its arms were stretchy. I had never seen it really do any of that in the anime. The only time I ever saw Breloom in the anime was during the Pokemon movie, the Jirachi movie, and in that one they just kind of run around. So yeah, the first time I saw it stretch its arms out, that was quite the shock. Okay, so stick that right there. Let's see, Breloom is 3'11". 3'11", that's almost 4 feet tall. Shroomish is 1'4", so that's a big height difference. Zigzagoon says, I'd have said something sooner, but had to restart my browser again. Hi, watching Zigzagoon. Thanks for coming to the stream. I'm sorry your browser's having issues. I've just got done reading through the that's not what I want. The Dex stuff. There we go. For Breloom. So now it's time to create a new document for our Hoenn families and to just sketch out, see if I can draw these Pokemon. Let's start with Shroomish. Alright, and nothing much to do with a Shroomish, unfortunately. Pokemon that are just single shape with legs attached can be a little hard to make unique, because, you know, you can't alter its body type much. Maybe you can make them you know, like tall. I guess you can play around with a mushroom. Let's just draw some weird shroomish. What if, what if its bottom was big? Why does that shroomish walk like a man? I don't know. I don't know how to make it very fat. Maybe if the eyes were really high up, then it would appear chubbier. Maybe if the frills were slightly in the middle rather than at the bottom. Yeah, that's a little chunkier. There's a chunky boy. Zig says, yeah, Shroomish seems the easier one. Are you just fooling around here? You know me, Zig. This first section, you gotta, you know, play. Sometimes you just gotta take some time to play and get things out of your system. You know? Gotta take all the wrong routes before you find the right one. Now, what if its little frill things went up? Maybe it's doing like a Marilyn Monroe thing. Oh my! Give him some blushies. Oh no! You gotta see my underskirts. My skirt's blowing up. Oh, it's chilly. Okay, well, Shroomish is easy. Let's move on to Breloom. I found it on the first try, which is why you gotta play around. See if you can find something more interesting, you know? Your first try is always gonna be your most boring idea. Gotta try and find some character in these species. Okay, so got a frill here. Okay, so Breloom is a cool looking Pokemon. I like the shape of a Breloom. Sort of hair like kangaroo shape. Looks like it's ready to tussle. It's a perilous beast. Okay. they make Breloom pretty round. Whenever I look at Breloom, I always think it's got like, you know, a slim velociraptor form. If you look at him, he's made out of chunky circles. Well, I hope everyone's having a good night, a good evening. Monday's always the hardest day to get over, and it's over. We've started the week. We've gotten back into things. I've been going to sleep a lot earlier so that I can wake up on time for work. Switched over to morning shifts. I gotta say, I may not like waking up in the morning, but I do like having time after work to actually get stuff done before the sun goes down. When I had the closing shift, it was, you know, run home, throw food in my gullet, so that I can start to stream on time. And even then it was like 9 o'clock when I was able to start. So this is a lot nicer of a schedule. I'm not a big fan of Breloom's feet. The way that Breloom's claw toes attached to the feet don't quite attach. It's almost like they're not claws coming out of the toes. It's more like, have you guys ever made those like paper things and then you would like put them on your hand? You know, there was like a hole here and then you would like stick your finger in them like that. That's what it makes me think of. It's like normally you have like a toe, right? And then the claw would come out of the toe, like such. But with Breloom, it looks like there was a toe, and then the claw just kind of goes over the whole thing. That's a little weird. But we're gonna try and keep that, because that's part of the design. We'll see if, make it work, make sense. Watcher says, the longer I stay up on a weeknight, the harder it is for me to get up in the morning. Yeah, ain't that just the way? It's conversely affected. And people always tell me I need to go to sleep earlier if I want to get up early. And it's actually, you know, if I go to sleep before midnight, I can usually get up on time. I woke up before my alarm clock this morning, which is very rare. Usually I'm sleeping way past the alarm, but I don't know what happened. I just couldn't, you know, stay in bed. It's, looked at the clock, it was a few minutes before the alarm, and yet I was awake. I think I might have gone to sleep a little too early last night. Now, is that even possible when you have a poor sleep schedule? Who knows? Sometimes you just kinda, you get used to suffering and you don't know what to do when things are coming easy. It's like, what is this? Why am I awake and cognitive? I should be cursing the sun and rolling out of bed. But no. The weather's been so nice. It almost felt like summer. It was so hot. But I think that was probably my fault for dressing too thick. This is how I like to draw Breloom's body shape. It's the same way I draw Flygon, actually. Just like head and then skinny leg, neck in this kind of teardrop shape. Real nice and pleasing to look at least for me. Okay. Now for the concept part. How do I put these two together? Well, I didn't draw that many Breloom, so let me try another. How about if it's kicking? Gotta keep the arms nice and low because the neck frill comes down to where the arms are. Zig says, gotta say, you put a lot of detail in the Breloom on the left. Yeah, that was the one where I was just basing it off the reference. So I always like to start with just one drawing the same as the reference. I might toss in a little flair here and there, but it really depends on how familiar I am with a Pokemon. Breloom I've drawn before, so I put a little more detail in him. For a Pokemon that I may not have drawn ever before, I would just copy exactly the line art, and it helps me understand the structure, the shape language, and all that. I imagine this is what a Breloom would look like from the front. If its head was from the front. Shading in sections that go under other sections is a really quick and easy way to add some depth and detail to a sketch. So like this frill is supposed to go over the body, so under the body I put a little bit of cross hatching there, you know. Like if the head goes under the hood, I can sketch in some lines, make it look a little shaded, and then suddenly it looks like you put in all this detail when really you haven't really put in detail, you've just kind of blocked in the shadows. Alright, well, I'm not sure why Breloom's tail looks like it goes directly into the body, you know? Like, it looks like a smooth transition from the tail to the body, and yet it changes color where the foot blocks it. Makes me think its body is just a round thing, and the tail just right on top. Oh, that's a fun position. If Breloom were to be down low, and then maybe got his tail up high. belly comes out there. Like he's sneaking up on someone, you know? Like the cats do. I guess let's see if it's fun to draw his little arm stretching. That's something you do. Now it looks pretty angry. Okay, I put his one arm here, and then stretch, pow. There's no like force behind the punch. You know? How do I... Okay, if he were to punch, throw his arm out. You know, if Breloom punches you, I know it's a fighting type Pokemon, so I'm thinking like boxers and stuff, right? Even the Dex mentions boxing. But if Breloom punches you, it ain't gonna be a nice soft fist. It's gonna be those spiky claws on the end of its, on the end of its paw there. Those things are jabbing into you. I wonder if oh wait, no, it's a mushroom, so I keep wondering if it's a poison type, but it's not. It's grass. If it's punching this way, then its leg should be coming this way. If we give his body a bit of a twist. I don't know. Not a fan of that pose. I tried. Maybe I'll find another one. It's gonna stab you. It wouldn't even be a punch at all. It's just a stab wounds. Grass fighting, yeah, air will definitely have the upper hand, or wing, or whatever. I think it works well. Well, thank you. Okay, so... I'm thinking either like you know, Just a thought. It's like zigzagoon, and then it's like, don't punch the baby! Let's try the other one. I kind of like this pose. See if we can do anything with it. You know, we can make the tail turn this way, and then we can move him closer to the edge here. And then have Shroomish also lying down. I like it, but it's like so empty up here, you know? So we'll just leave that as another option. I suddenly had... Oh, what did you have in mind, Ziggs? Were you thinking like Shroomish hanging onto his tail? What if we had Shroomish down here? He's like scare or something. And then like some foliage, you know. And this is gonna require me to draw a background, but huge dinosaur breloom. I'm not getting the angle very well on that. And I don't want all this foliage. I don't want to be blocking it off. Shroomish has to be hiding behind something. So like put something for him to hide behind. And then no, in front, standing in front of breloom. Sorry, the feed sort of desyncs now and then, so my responses are delayed. Oh, that works. Hanging from the tail? That could work. kind of like this like feral look for Breloom. Like it's kind of wide-eyed, like this feral animal look to him. You know, the Paris line has it rough because they sort of lose their minds when the mushrooms take over. I wonder if the Breloom family has a more symbiotic relationship with its mushroom. Then I can have some fun with the frills, I guess. Shroomish kind of makes me think of Toad for some reason. I know that's another Pokemon. The Shionic or whatever is much more like a Toad, but Shroomish always makes me think of a Toad. No way, Shroomish is more like a Goomba. Yo, you're right. Oh, I've forgotten about. Yeah, they're totally just Goomba. Oh my goodness. Goomba makes me so happy. Like whenever Goomba's included in things, in Mario Odyssey, you get to be a Goomba by like taking over its mind. But in Mario Party, I think the only good thing about the Switch Mario Party is letting us play as Goomba. And Goomba is just so much fun because it has no arms, but it's got to be able to play alongside the characters with arms, so it uses its head for a lot of stuff. It like kicks to do a lot of things. It's so much fun when a game includes characters that aren't normal abled, I guess, and include cute ways to still let them play, make them you know, not just cop out and have things float in front of them like oh well, you know, it's a video game, so you understand that it's supposed to have arms, but since it doesn't, the items are just floating. It's like, no. It's got a perfectly good head that it can balance that ball on. I've yet to play that game, so I can't say I know what you mean. It's not a great game, so don't bother buying it. There's two things great about the new Mario Party on the Switch. One is that steak searing game, and the other is getting to play as Goomba. Though I always play as Monty Mole for some reason. He's just a fat mole. that pats his belly. I like this face, but I'm going to try again. I'm gonna save it over there. I'm going to. I gotta think of an environment. I gotta think of the environment. Let's see. I'm gonna put a tree here. Okay. Trying to think. Virus is here! Hi, Virus! Good evening! Thanks for coming to join our stream! I hope you're having a good weekend. Weekend? Start of your week! I hope you had a good weekend, is what I meant to say. And I hope the new week is going smoothly so far. I say that and then instantly there's like this loud siren noise outside my window. I hope we're at least having a better time than whatever is happening where that guy's going. Okay. That's the other route coming out this way, and then I'm gonna put some grass here. Gonna maybe put some turf. Okay. So, some turf there. And where's my Shroomish? I need to get my Shroomish in the picture. I started drawing this tree thinking a spot for him will open up. And yet the more I draw the tree, the more I'm realizing like I don't want to block this. I shouldn't have drawn it so well. Okay, suck it up. Suck it up, Zero. It's not even that good of a tree. It's a lousy tree. You gotta block it off. Don't let anyone see this tree that you've drawn. Okay, so Shroomish baby is going right here. And ya done goofed. really, really good. Enjoying my vacations. Ooh, taking your vacation days now, eh? It's spring soon here in where I am. So the weather's warming up slight tad. Still winter technically, but it's already getting really warm, so you know, I don't know what that's gonna say about summer. Okay, let's lower the opacity on this so I can see my Shroomish. No, no, no. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay, there's the bum. You know. I like the pose. So like the pose itself, I really like, but the emotion that's going on, or like rather the moment that's happening for the Shroomish, doesn't work for the image. So I'm gonna try again. Virus says it's summer here, and I work inside a university, so everyone is free until almost March. Yo, same here, except it's not summer for me. But like, because I work at a university, whenever it's winter, I get a break, and whenever it's summer, I get a break. So yeah, working at a university is pretty nice. Of course, I don't get paid when I'm not working, all the time, but there is a part of the break that is paid, and I don't even have to take vacation days for that. That's just given to us by the university. I just really want him like to lie flat, you know? Like just maybe he's peeking up. Could be sweating a little. I'm not a fan of frills. Shroomish and Breloom have these frills, and they make perfect sense when they're at a specific angle. But as soon as you want to, like, you know, draw them straight on, or like not at that specific, it starts to become a little weird to figure out. I think it'll be something like this. I don't know how prehensile their frills are. Like, would Shroomish be able to move his frills individually? Could he, like, pinch them together to pick something up? I hope you enjoy your summer. Do you like to go to the beach? Rat Skull's here! Hi, Rat Rascal! I always call you Rat Skull. It just, like, comes out. How goes it? Good, what about you? South America, we have Mediterranean weather. It has marked 4 seasons, but it's the opposite than the Northern Hemisphere, like in Australia and New Zealand. I heard Animal Crossing is finally taking care of y'all y'all Southerners, y'all Southern Hemisphere folk, in that it's finally, you know, taking into consideration that some people may not be sharing the same weather as they've been having us play. So hopefully that's exciting for y'all. Mom was curious as to what you look like, Zero. Shame I had to tell her you don't use a webcam. I'm just a basic Chinese long hair, straight black hair girl. If you go onto my website, zeroprostudio.com, I have a self-portrait, oil paint, but it's a realistic self-portrait. That's what I look like, essentially. I always wear my hat. I can't leave home without it. Feel kind of naked without a hat on. Keeps my brain warm. And yeah, pretty standard, ordinary. I draw myself sometimes. I give myself big old round glasses for some reason. It's like a cartoony thing that I started when I was a kid. I thought the round glasses looked more cartoony, so I wasn't so concerned about using references and things, I guess. And I don't know if I would bother to change it. I did buy myself a webcam the other day. I got myself the, the Logitech C920. Logitech C920. Before, I had purchased a Logitech before, and it was really bad. Like, Like, I instantly took it back to the store and returned it. It was so bad. The focus was like blurry. It was just not good. For this one, I spent a little more money, and I also got myself some lights. A light. It's like an LED light thing to help the webcam out, because I realize it's not, even if it is a good camera, whether it's good or bad, it's gonna look bad if the lighting is bad. So I purchased a light to go with it, and I hooked it up. The webcam is not for me. There's nothing to look at in terms of me. If I were to use it for my own stuff, it would be to either show my hands, like what I'm doing basically, where my hands are while I draw, or my, desk if I were to do some more traditional stuff, like what I did for whatchamacallit, Inktober. No, the webcam is going to be set up near my rat cage, and when I get rats, I'm gonna see if I can set it up in a way that they can be seen. Unfortunately, the cage and myself, we all live in the basement, where lighting can be pretty bad, and unlike me, I do not want to be shining light directly at my rats. So we will see how it ends up looking. I'm gonna try and set up the light so that it's a little indirect and dispersed. But we'll see. They won't be on screen all the time. But if I have to like step away from the stream for a little while, if I like need to use the restroom or grab some water, I can put them up as a be right back sort of thing. Or I can just pop them up if I need to like do a stretch break, or if anyone just wants to see the babies. North is very dry with deserts, south very cold. Ooh. So probably no beach, huh? Rat Skull says, I say let it grab stuff with the frills. I mean, my man Shroomish don't got hands. He don't got hands! But just like I was saying earlier with Goomba, he can use his big ol' head. I don't like too much salty water. I go to a beautiful lake in my city. Nice. I've never gone swimming in a big lake before. Salt water isn't exactly ideal for one's consumption. I do like the taste of the salt though. Like I'll go swimming in it, and then I'll like lick my lips, and it's like a nice and salty. I like salt. I'm like a deer. I go licking the salt. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe this one should be down. If they're all up, it's a little weird, right? Oh, maybe this one is... Shoot, I don't know. Maybe there's... So it's like one here, goes behind the foot, and then another one here. And then maybe this one goes a little over this away. trying to figure this out before I move on. Should just be longer. Okay, so now it's flatter against the ground. We got some on the ground. Give me a sec. Do I like that? Do I not like that? Do I like it? He ain't got no arms. The baby got no arms. This one comes down this way. It's frustrating. Okay. No. Wait. Who can see fine? Let's see. Yeah, no. Never out without baseball hat. Go to school in the city, and the wind is so bad it would mess my hair anyhow. Oh, my hair is always a mess despite the hat. Brazilian come here because we have mountains with snow almost all year. Ooh. I mean, that don't sound too bad. I hate the cold, but that actually sounds really pretty. My glasses are a bit more rectangular. I think mine are too. They're a weird shape. They are rectangular, but they're like rounded, you know? I rarely clean them. Everyone is amazed I can actually see. Just like my brother and his glasses. He hates getting them clean. It's like, now I can see fine. That is unfortunate. And now I see why you have a rat as your pre-stream screen. You have pet rat. I don't have pet rats yet, but I'm getting them next month. I'm so excited. I've never had pet rats before, but it's been my dream. Rascal says it's been my dream to own rats, but I gotta wait till I'm out on my own with my girlfriend to have them. Sad face. Parents hate them. Yeah, my mom hates their tails. It took me forever to convince her to let me have them. Rats don't quite have good reputation. I'm glad that's changing in recent time, at least online. They deserve a good rep. Yeah, who knew rats were cleaner than we thought? Yeah, self-grooming just like cats. Honestly, did not expect Shroomish to be this troublesome. Yeah, I didn't either. It's like, Shroomish was one of the easier ones to draw just, you know, at the angle it was. But because it's so simple, I wanted to do something a little more with it. So having it plopped down like this is fun. But then that means I have to friggin' draw the frills all weird. Ziggs is like, oh, what did you about me not having rats? Or yeah, I'm still so I have the cage all nice and set up. It's really nice. Oh, I have a blog. If y'all wanna see my rat adventures, me getting my first pets, check out Studio Rats at .tumblr.com. I think it's rats. It might be rat. I think it's Studio Rats. I think I put the S in there because you gotta get at least 2. You gotta get at least 2. Rats are very highly social animals, and they need companionship from other rats. You cannot provide the companionship yourself. But, so it's gotta be. I trust myself to have. But you can see my cage set up. I have my cage. I have some food. I'm still collecting food. I went to the store today to grab some barley grain, some rice, some flax seed, but they didn't have flax seed, and the barley was more expensive than at the other store, so I didn't buy anything. I didn't end up buying anything. I'm gonna go to the other store later, but I got a big old bag of Oxbow rat block. It's like a lab block that you feed the rats, and it's like kibble basically. It's got everything they need in it, but I'm also gonna make them a homemade mix just to spice things up now and then. Hopefully it lasts. I don't know necessarily how long it's supposed to last. Gonna pick up some baby food later too. I hear rats like baby food. But yeah, so I got some food. I'm still getting some more. We'll make a post about that once I have it all collected. What else? I started growing some wheatgrass for them to play in, but I didn't realize it was gonna grow so fast. Like 1 week later, it was already sprouted and like, you know, growing tall. So I may have to, it may not last until I get the rats. I may have to like replant the grass if it dies. It's still alive, so here's hoping. Here's hoping it'll survive long enough for my rats to destroy them, and so I don't have to. But yeah, check it out. studiorats.tumblr.com. Got some things posted on here and on there, and I will of course be posting pics of the babies once I get them. As for the babies, I really like top ear rats. So if you don't know, there aren't any breed of rats. Like, rats don't come in breeds. There are simply different varieties of, like, different mutations of coats. But they're all the same species of rat. It's not like dogs where you can have different breeds of them. I know dog breeds aren't technically species, but you know what I mean. But there's two different kinds of rats that are the most prominent differences, and that's top ear and Dumbo. So with a rat, you know, you got the nose and the little mouth with the whiskers, and you got a little eye, right? And you got, okay, so you got a rat. The normal looking rats, the wild ones, have their ears on top like that, and that's called top ear. The Dumbo rats have their ears down on the side. They've like bred them so that the ears go down onto the side, so their head is wider, and they're technically considered cuter by most people. I think they look dopey, and there's nothing wrong with a dopey rat. Like, dopey rats are super cute, and anyone with Dumbos are super valid, and if you prefer those, then good for you. I just personally prefer top ears, so that's what I asked the breeder for. Unfortunately, right now, the only top ears they have are how do I say? They don't have patterns. They're like, I'm gonna move this over just slightly. Just move this tree trunk over just ever so slightly so I can see a little bit more of it. I don't like how that bump was like so close to his face. And maybe if I move this up, see more of that detail. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the only top ears they have right now that are available are just blue-gray, which is a beautiful color. I love the blue-gray. They look like Remy basically from Ratatouille, that kind of blue-gray color. But they're all one color. And at the same time, their Dumbos just gave birth, and the Dumbo rats are speckled. I don't know how to call it. They're like, I'm sure there's a, I think the breeder even used a certain term for it, but they have like specks all over their body, and I'm tempted to like get one of those in addition to one of the top ear selves. So decisions to be made, you know. Ratskill says, top ears are cute, but Dumbo stole my heart. Zig says, I think I prefer the top ear too. It's actually kind of rare for people to prefer top ears. Yeah, it's Studio Rats. Oh man, that cage is decked out. Thank you! Yes! It's so crowded, I almost wonder, like, is it possible to overcrowd a rat cage? Rats are like kindred spirits to me. They love just clutter. They just love their cage to be every, you know, hardly any space to put your paw down, I guess. Which is basically my room all of the time. Though I've had to do a little cleaning so that there's actually room for the cage and room for the rats to play around when it's time to bring them out of the cage. Ironically, getting rats has made my room cleaner. My main concern with having the rats is not a rat thing, but like a pet thing, in that I'm worried they might smell. And I know they're gonna smell. I'm ready for smell. It's just I don't know how smelly they are. A lot of animals I've avoided getting in the past because I heard they have strong scents. Like rabbits and ferrets, I've heard this of. Though I have friends who have rabbits who say they don't smell. I'm getting boys, so it's possible they'll smell worse than the girls. But you know, I have heard it's not a bad smell. It's just, it is an animal smell, and if you don't keep the cage clean, it's probably not going to smell great, but by the time it smells bad, you probably should clean the cage. You know, this sketchy cleanup stuff I'm doing, I might be able to just turn this into the line art if I clean it up a little more. Kind of like how I did with the New Year's rats. I'm thinking if I just kind of clean this up a little more, I can cheat and make this the line art. It's not every time this is the case, but sometimes I look at a sketch and I'm like, you know, why don't I just use that instead of wasting my time and redrawing everything. But I'm not gonna do it too much right now because it's possible it also might not work, and then I'm just wasting my time even more. I will make him a little thicker on this side so that he stands out, and this part needs to be thicker to stand out against the bushes. I'm not sure about names yet though for my boys. I think once I need to see them before I can come up with proper names. There is one of the Dumbos that I'm looking at that if I do get him, I'm probably going to name him Domino because it just looks like he looks like a domino piece. And you know, like Domino's Pizza? It's a pizza rat? Nah. Hee. Mood, I think it can be cozy. Watcher Zig says, yeah, my cat's litter box is the same. Rat Skull says, rats' odor is pretty minor, I think. I think they only smell particularly bad if something's up, like an infection. Don't quote me, though. My girlfriend wanted to name a future rat Dog. Dog! Honestly, when I go to my friend's house and their dog jumps on me and I play with it, I just call it Dog. You know, like, animals named just their animal name is funny to me. I like it. I think it's funny. Okay. So my current project is making a bin cage. So I have their main cage set up. I'm gonna make a cheaper one out of a bin by cutting out holes for ventilation and zip tying, hardware cloth onto it. And that'll be like a secondary cage for quarantines and for cage cleanings, maybe if I need them to be out of their cage but not free roaming. My room isn't very rat proof, so I don't want them to be out of their cage unsupervised. I hate these claws. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I see. Okay. So it's actually not. It's actually a triangle. I think it's more like this. More like that. So but yeah, I think the sculpture department at our school has a Dremel that I can use to like cut the holes out of the bins with. So that's my project for this month. That's basically what I'm gonna use to distract myself while while I wait for the rats to grow up. They've been born. They just the rats are born. They just need to be old enough to be adopted, basically, which is around 5 to 8 weeks is what they suggest, and my breeder does them at 6 weeks. 5 to 8 weeks is like the requirement, because it they say at that age they're still quote unquote learning to rat. Ratskill's posting a GIF. Can I share this GIF of Shroomish that makes me lose it? Oh my goodness! Oh, I love it. It's so gremlin. Oh my goodness. That's cute. I like it. It's so silly. I'm sure that's so funny. It's just like, I knew it was possible, but I didn't realize I needed it. You know, you look at Shroomish and you're like, yeah, if you turn that upside down, it would look like it has anger eyebrows. But that's so funny. Oh, I love it. My sister wanted me to name the rats after cheeses. I was tossing around Pepper Jack for a while. Wanted to name one of them Pepper Jack. I also like the name Camembert and Roquefort. But since the rats are probably gonna be gray, I feel like cheese names are more suitable to like warmer colors. A devious smirk. I just come from hang out with friends and playing. We were going to roleplay Werewolf and Apocalypse. A Werewolf the Apocalypse. It's a really fun game where you and your friends are werewolves. It's a spin-off game about vampires, but this focus on friends' work as a pack and eco-terrorism. Wanted to name a rat Pepper, like the kind that are white, and on their back it's flecked with silver and black. I think I've heard of that game. It's cool. Is that like the game that's basically Mafia but with werewolves? Or am I thinking of a different one? You said it's a spin-off of a vampire game. So I'm thinking maybe it's a different one. There's a board game club at school that I used to go to. And that's where I saw that werewolf game where it's basically Mafia, but instead of the Mafia killing people, it's werewolves, I guess. I never quite liked Mafia. I never really enjoyed it. So I didn't play, but the box art looks fun. I always get disappointed when I see when I go to the game store and like you see these really cool box art for games, but then you know it's a board game or it's a card game and the rest of the game looks nothing like the box art. If you've ever seen what's it called? Is it called Root? It's like this board game about factions of woodland animals. And it's so cute. Like the box art is so cute. I wish there was an animated show or movie or comic book even in that style. It's just so cute. I want it to be a thing, but it's not. It's just a board game. Not sure what this pedal is doing. But I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to make it make sense. This isn't an animation, so it doesn't have to make sense. Things can just be left floating, as it were. Pepper's a really cute name. It's a roleplay game. Like a sheet of paper, stats and dice. Like Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so it's a different game than what I'm thinking of. I think you've actually mentioned it. Someone on stream has mentioned it, I think. Less throw dice, more acting. The vampire game is very dramatic. Werewolf is more like D&D with adventures and fighting. Actually, we went to a store to play, but there was Root in Spanish and I bought it immediately, so we tried it instead of role-playing. How was it? Didn't even knew it was translated already. I was thinking on importing it on English since it looked lovely and fun. It still looks inconsistent. Inconsistent. Wait, what still looks inconsistent? Sorry, I didn't catch what you were referring to. The pedal. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what's happening. Like, it's supposed to be coming towards, but it's also, you know, it's not quite. Like, it's not the side of the pedal, it's coming towards us. So maybe it's... Anyway. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I just need to... Okay, let me think about it. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you after I think about it. Sorry I'm so quiet. My brain is acting a mile a minute trying to figure out how pedals work. Never was one for drawing flowers. Or clothes. Let me finish the rest of the body. Let me finish the rest of the body. And, come back to it with the sketch layer turned off so that I can focus on how it looks. Now, at least Breloom's cap has space for its head. I've been drawing, I drew some lombre the other day, and, that thing's has this, like, lily pad on its head, but it doesn't, like, it's just flat, you know? So it doesn't really work as a hat, sort of. It's just literally a plate on its head. It doesn't, you know... It doesn't look cool that way. But I wanted her to look cool, so... It didn't really work. Okay. I want to take a chunk out of this mushroom, and I don't know why, but I think it would look cool. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna go right here. I've taken a chunk out of this mushroom. I'm gonna take another chunk. It's right here. I know. I kind of regret it. It doesn't look as good as I thought it would. So let me make it a little wider. Let's see if that helps. I think it's actually the angle at which it's shown. Oh gosh. The other spore thing. I think this one actually Needs to be different. Needs to be rounder. Needs to be smaller. How does that look? Let me zoom out and see. Yeah. Something weird about the tail. Let me think. Okay, sorry. Hard to tell that it's pointing to us, though. I've also been thinking, I've been recently testing a card game I'm making, like a parody of vampires versus werewolves, but is about furries versus goths. If only I'd been... Isn't that just vampires versus werewolves, though? That's like the boiled down. If only I'd been there to contradict Mouse at the water gym. Mouse, Pina Colada, and Zipper might still be alive. Our brothers have perished, but they live on in our hearts. We will remember them. Myra says, I think I mentioned, and it's going well, just testing and stuff, but it generally works and it's fun. So I see, does add a bit of asymmetry. Try inverting the angle. Inverting the angle? Like this? For the pedal? Though I kind of like the way it is. It's like not quite straight towards us. It's like kind of coming up and then out, you know? I think that's fine. I'm going to clean up some of the bumps and bruises down here. Guys, I'm gonna say it now. I'm planning to go see the Sonic the Hedgehog movie on opening night, Valentine's Day. Sonic the Hedgehog. I cannot wait. Apparently there's an anime convention going on that same weekend, so my friend isn't going to be able to go to see it with me, which is a right shame, because that means I'm going to be going by myself. But for some reason these little feetsies made me think of Sonic. I think it's because of the Chows. The Chow Garden. But suddenly I was like, oh man, can't wait for Sonic the Hedgehog. Got ourselves a situation. No time for relaxation. Okay, oh. The tail. Da, 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 da. The problem is, though, I don't trust them enough to, like, to expect them to put actual Sonic music in it. Like, would it be awesome if Escape from the City was in the movie? Yeah. Is it gonna be in there? Nuh-uh. Well, that's okay. That's alright. I watched Secret Life of Pets recently. A friend of mine wanted to see it, I guess, and so rented it. And since she had it for like 3 days, she had me watch it too. And it's surprisingly good. Like, I know it's popular. I knew it was popular, but like, it's popular with kids, I thought, you know? Like, yeah, like it's the same crowd that really likes the Minions. I thought it was like it's gonna be a dumb movie. But I enjoyed it. The way the pets sort of talk to each other, the way they interpret situations and react to things. It's very fun. I thought it was gonna be a lot of tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, well, animals don't actually act like that. But it was, like, surprisingly, smart. I thought I was gonna find the big dog, you know, the big dog that comes in the trailer. I thought I was gonna find him annoying, because I always find the character that, like, comes in to another character's life and, like, quote unquote ruins it, you know? I know the whole point is that the first character's life isn't complete, and this new character comes in that seemingly, like, is ruining everything, but in the end it turns out that they were the thing that was missing, and at the very end everything's gonna be, like, better that they're there. But there's always that moment. So, like, basically Toy Story, right? You have Andy and Woody, and they have a perfect thing going on, and then Buzz comes in and ruins everything. But then in the end it's like, okay, yeah, Buzz, you know, is a good guy to have around, and now we have even more fun, and woo, lesson learned or whatever. But there's always that moment where, like, depending on how the story is told, where they show how perfect life is before the new character comes in, and I'm like into it. They're showing me, like, how everything fits together, and I'm like, yeah. And then the new character comes in and literally, like, messes everything up, and, like, it's stressful, because, like, they had a good thing going. But no, like, Secret Life did it pretty well. You know, like, immediately, probably what the issue is, and it's not annoying on either part. Like, sometimes I'm annoyed with the new guy. Sometimes I'm annoyed with the old guy for, like, you know, because they self-sabotage sometimes, where it could have just, like, been a peaceful... In Secret Life is one of these. It could have been a peaceful change, but no, because he's so holding on to his old life, he makes his own problems and stuff. But the way they do it is kind of it's natural for the character, and it's also actually fun to watch. It's not wasn't painful at all, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I haven't seen the second one, though. I wonder if that one's gonna be any good. Let me zoom up a bit. Legendary. If only I was still visiting my Texas friends. We all saw Cats together. I love Cats, the musical. What's it called? Is it the 1984? I don't remember when it came out, but the VHS version is like my jam. I love that stage production of Cats so much. The new one, whew, I wouldn't say it's good. I have a lot to complain about it, but I left the theater. Let me say this, okay? Let me say this. My friends who went to see the Star Wars movie left the theaters angry. I went to see Cats and I had a good time. Like, yes, did it make me uncomfortable? Yes. Do I have a lot to complain about it? Yes. But overall, I had a good time. And I got what I expected. A little less, but pretty much what I expected. And, I'm not mad. I probably won't buy the movie. It's not gonna be the new quintessential version. I'm still gonna send people to the other version of Cats for their first viewing. But it's like, you know what? There were kids sitting behind me in the audience, and they were laughing their heads off, and I appreciated that. When I first saw Cats, it was with my friend at my home on the VHS, and we laughed our heads off the first time a cat came on stage. It was the funniest thing. When Rum Tum Tugger was like thrusting his hips on stage, we were laughing our heads off. It's a good musical. It's a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. And there's like 2, 3 minor changes. Maybe not minor, but 3 specific changes they could have done to the 2019 Cats that would have made it so much better. So much better. 3 specific changes. 1, give them noses. Okay, why do they have, no, like, okay, I get if you don't want to do makeup, but at least like CG in some cat noses. They painted on the cat noses for the production. You can, make it look like they have cat noses. 2, I don't like the feet. No human feet, please. Like, give them shoes. 1 of the cats had shoes. 3 of the cats had shoes, and it looked good. McCavity, when he had clothes on, it looked good. Give them all clothes. Just dress them all up. Make them all fancy cats. And then 3, use the new version of the Mongo Jerry and Rumpeltazer song. It's so much better than the one they went with. That old version is the inferior version. They should have gone with the newer one. And I would have I would have been happier. I would have been happy. I was happy. I liked it. I just didn't think it was that good, objectively. It was nuts. Family believes Cats is better off staying on Broadway stages rather than the big screen. No. I'm glad it's on VHS. It doesn't have to stay on stage. I mean, I guess the VHS one was technically on stage, but this new one technically seems like it's on stage too. It's hardly shot like a movie. Ratskill says we had so many moments where something would happen and we'd all lean forward and look at each other like, are you seeing this? Breloom already looks more convincing. Zig says, I saw Rise of Skywalker a few weeks back and boy, there was all sorts of stuff that got me talking all night. I had too much energy. My fam saw Rise of Skywalker on Christmas. It was a pretty cool way to spend the holiday. You know, I used to be scared of movie theaters, mostly due to scary encounters with a look-up theater in a museum. I've gotten over it, though. The same cannot be said for my vespiphobia, fear of wasps. I've had problems with bugs for years. Ratskill says, you're valid, man. Bugs are scary. Ratskill says, Cats the musical is cool. The movie's just insane. Musicals aren't exactly my jam these days, although Come From Away was awesome. Noses would be ideal. Yeah. A lot of the problems in the Cats musical was all design choice. I think a lot of it could have been fixed with certain changes in the design choice, and I'm kind of sad that that's the case. You know, like when it's so close and yet it misses. That's when that's when it's a little sad. Okay, I'm debating putting some foliage on this side, you know, because it's so empty. I'm going to add maybe one here. Maybe one here. Man, I wish I had friends to talk about cats with, though. Like it's no fun when they don't have enough context, you know? Like I have things to say about it, but it doesn't really matter in the long run unless you kind of already care about the musical from the beginning, like before this one showed up. Like you have no idea how excited I was when I first found out they were making a Cats, like a remake production, like a modern production of Cats. Has anyone seen the, what's it called, the Into the Woods movie? The one with Johnny Depp? It was Johnny Depp, right? I haven't seen it. But I kind of want to. Like, good or bad, I kind of want to see it. Nope, haven't seen it. Alright. Perhaps some foliage would be ideal. So close yet so far. Some of those like mushroom things that grow on the side of trees, you know? And then over here we can have this leaf come over. Oh, I think, was it last week or the week before we were talking about anime? Or maybe it was the week before. So I did start watching an anime. It's the Blood Blockade Battlefront. I think it has like a Japanese title that most people know it by, but I can never remember what it is. Yeah, we've seen one episode so far, and I'm already entirely lost. So yeah, a great start. Though, as lost as I am, my friend is even more lost. So I am watching it with a friend. I have to watch shows with a friend. If I don't, I get sucked in so deep that I never sleep. So we're watching it one episode a week, every Tuesday. So tomorrow I get to watch another episode and see if it comes together any more than it has. But oh my goodness, like it just really throws you in. Okay, it throws you in to the action, but then it like pulls you back like 10 minutes before the action, and then it shows you the action again, and it's like, okay, anime, are we doing this? Are we flashing back to the beginning of the episode in the same episode on the first episode? Are we actually doing this? So that was fun. That was kind of funny, I guess. And then like, so I don't think it's been dubbed because I couldn't find a dub, and it's been a while since I watched subbed anime, so I'm like also typing to my friend like saying lol, I'm so confused, and then like realizing I'm not paying attention to the subtitles on the screen, and I'm like, I just skip that scene, I guess, and don't really care enough yet. The main character's like breaking down into tears, and I'm like, okay, kid, okay, like, let's take a step back. I don't care about you yet. Like, you're a cute kid, and you look like, you know, you're gonna do great things, but you haven't like warranted this kind of emotional reaction yet. You need to make me invested first, you know? It's like when Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood just throws the tragic backstory in the first, like the second episode or something. Was it the first or the second? I can't remember. I think they like did some kind of anime original for the first. Like, okay, the manga starts with, yes, the manga starts with the in media res for the you know, Edward and Al's failed thing, but that was like the teaser, you know? That was the teaser. But the anime just, okay, well, here's the whole story. Everything you need to know. And it's like, no, you don't get that yet. You don't get to tell me this yet. You have to like, who are these people, you know? You have to tell me who they are now, and then show me what brought them to this point. Because then I can appreciate the change that they've gone through. How much they've grown, how much they haven't, how much they've learned since then, what they were like. But I say that, but I am interested in what will happen with our protagonist. He's got a fun character design, and I like looking at it. And so if your character looks nice, you know, it covers a whole lot of ground in its likability. I do like seeing him get bullied. He gets bullied a little in the first episode. He's kind of a wooby sort of weak character, and so it really sets up grounds for him to show off later, hopefully. I think he's gonna pull something out of a hat. He's already pulled something out of a hat, but it doesn't seem very I'm interested in how they're gonna use this power, because so far it just seems like he has the power to see things. Wait, I have the power to see things. Oh, hi, Tails! Hoi, Tails! Thanks for coming. Are we talking about writing? Maybe. I'm talking about anime. I just started watching an anime, and I guess, just kind of making fun of the writing a little bit. It's not good or bad yet. It's just I'm not sure if it's time. Let me see. Looking more alive now. Speaking of anime, what was the first anime anyone here's ever seen? In my case, I'll give you a hint. You're looking at one. Pokemon? Well, two, actually. Be right back. Taking a shower. Yeah, I like you can't make the audience care and make them sad at the same time. The attachment has to come first. Otherwise, the sadness is just like obligation most of the time. Animes are written. They sure are. Sup, nerds? Hi, Nix. Tail says, I love figuring out how to get people attached so I can make them share my character's happiness and sadness. I'm also interested when characters are appealing and I don't know why. Like, so I watched, what was it? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, last year. And the main character objectively probably should be annoying. Like, all things considered. The way he acts, the way he talks, just, you know, he drips with this energy that should be annoying, but I find him so endearing. He's just there's nothing there's no I don't know how to say it. I don't find him annoying. I guess that's just what I'm trying to say. And I'm like trying to think, what does he do that makes him appealing when you know that squirrel from Over the Hedge? Have you guys seen Over the Hedge? It's a good movie. I enjoy it. The raccoon is a fun character. The character designs are fun. Some good jokes. You know? Like, make an illegal U-turn. Them passing him through the car. A lot of the later movie stuff. Really good. But that squirrel, what's his name? Was it Hammy? Is the squirrel's name Hammy? I don't know, but he's so annoying. And Flint has the same sort of energy to him, but he's not annoying. Maybe because he's like, he gets things rolling. Like he reacts to things that happen, and things that happen affect him somewhat realistically. I don't know if that's it. I don't know. Saying I don't know a lot because I really don't know. I can't think of like there's another instance of this that I'm trying to think of, but I can't recall it right now. I want to add some more foliage in the foreground, so I'm gonna and don't worry, I will answer Watcher's question, but I'll probably wait until he comes back, since he did ask it. If I don't forget. Which is completely also possible. But yeah, I been watching, I say been watching, but like I've seen one episode of that. I've plans to watch another anime with another friend of mine. It's called The Eccentric Family. It's another anime, and it's about a family of tanuki who live in Japan, and we haven't started that one yet. He's been really busy, but hopefully sometime soon. I don't like this leaf. I'm gonna get rid of it. Maybe there should be another tree right around here. Let's see. Happiness, sadness, figuring out why characters work the way they do is my jam. Oh, I know a bit about this, I think. If I recall correctly, the writing of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Qualcomm is very good. So first and foremost, the character is funny, so that factors down a lot of annoyance factor. But like, the thing is, the way he's funny tends to be annoying. You know, it's the kind of, ooh, look at me, I'm funny, I'm narrating what I do, funny. It's like, wah, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, I'm funny because I move crazy, and like, I throw things, and I narrate what I do, and I'm silly like that, and that makes me funny. Like, comedy is very because it's like, how do I say, since everyone has their own like taste in comedy, to have your characters likability dependent on their comedy is a little dangerous. Like Hammy the squirrel was also the same. It's like, first and foremost, he was supposed to be funny, but I just kind of found him annoying. Funny enough, the turtle in Over the Hedge was pretty funny. Like, he got some fun lines. He was more of the deadpan sort of humor, but that just kind of was the kind that appealed to me, I guess. So it worked in that regard. Also, his main goal is to help people, and it's endearing. He's a good boy. That's true. I think that's a big part of it too. Yeah, because he's good man. He's a good man. He's he wants to help people, and he's not like perfect in it either. He does get kind of a big head later, and when people are like, oh well, like, you're gonna be famous, he kind of likes that. And you know, when his dad doesn't you know, think he's all that, he gets upset. Like I thought you would be proud of me. You know, he's flawed. And I think it's nice that it's like a realistic kind of flaw, and not a he's too kooky. You know, like, oh no, his flaw is that he's not listening to people because he's too busy narrating what he's doing. He's just lonely. It's like a lot of his quirks just come across as lonely, and also like the people around him react to him realistically, I think. Like, it's a cartoon, so no one's really reacting realistically, but as realistic as they can be. Like, they treat him like a person, and when he does something wrong, they're like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Okay, it's a good movie. Just, let's see. Another thing is that when he goes too far, he usually is punished by the narrative, so we get Schadenfreude watching it. Yeah, exactly. What I just said. Sorry, I should probably read your whole essay before I anecdote it. I don't know. Finally, a lot of initial reactions against him feel way out of line, like he's annoying, but he doesn't deserve how people treat him. It makes him an underdog in a way that makes you care about him. And he's cute. I think they gave him a very appealing design with his big eyes. He looks like a parakeet. Nick says, I'm doing art in the back, so we don't talk much. That's fine. Good luck with your art. Are you fixing your girl? Are you adding stuff? Have you figured something out with that? Tail says, anyway, Cloudy with a Chance of Meal, good movie. Virus says, here, some work in progress of my card game, if someone's interested. Tails is Bob Ross voice. And we're just gonna add a happy little tree right here. Yeah, right right here. You know, it's your world. And in my world, this tree lives right here. Except I'm not gonna put a tree because I don't want to block anything. Okay, let's take a look at this link. Immediately, I see steampunk furry, and I'm like, all right. Admittedly not the strongest with humor, so I'd have to rewatch to figure out why his humor works. Zig says back. Zig says, and I'm freezing. Just got out of the shower for those who just arrived. Welcome back. You're not required to read my essay. No, it's required reading. I think she's going to. I'm in color process right now. Nice. Okay. That means you finally, wait, color process, but you've already colored her. Okay, so Ziggs, you asked earlier, what's the first anime? I haven't answered it yet because you left. But, I think my first anime that I knew was an anime, qualification there, because before this, I thought anime was like, made in America, since I watched it all on TV dubbed. So the first anime that I watched that I realized what anime was, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is from Japan, based on a manga that they translated. Gotcha. And oh look, subtitles and stuff. So that was Inuyasha, is what I consider my first. That said, before Inuyasha, I have watched a lot of shows. In no particular order because, you know, I didn't keep track. I watched Pokemon, obviously. There was Hamtaro. I watched a lot of Rurouni Kenshin as a kid. Big Rurouni Kenshin fan. I watched Cyborg 009. I watched SD Gundam and G Gundam. Let's see. I think I saw some Dragon Ball. Yu Yu Hakusho, my favorite. Yeah, but like, so all of those I did watch before Inuyasha, I think, but I wasn't entirely. I didn't really know what I was watching. Like, I thought they were just American cartoons that were like inspired by Japanese stuff. Like, okay, like as a kid, I didn't realize the same voice actor could be used for different projects and could do different characters. You know, I was like, I thought baby Simba and adult Simba were voiced by the same guy, and they just had to wait for him to like grow up, and I was like, how do they do that? You know, in my brain, it had to be like one person. So I was kind of a dumb kid. Is the moral of the story. A really early anime that I watched, I don't know if you can count it as anime, but Princess Mononoke. My dad rented it from the Blockbusters one time, and I was and like made me watch it, and I was upset at first because I'm like, oh, it looks like a historical thing and it's got people in it, but it was like the coolest thing I had ever seen, and like, that was my favorite for a long time. Really good movie. I'm sure I watched some Doraemon as a kid. Okay, I'm gonna color now. I got half an hour to color this. Oh, it's just so There's nothing here. There. I put some stuff there. I don't know if it's some grass. No, I'll leave it. It's not the focus anyways. I think I gotta have watched some Digimon too. But I was in the sort of I was in the crowd where everyone was saying Digimon was a ripoff of Pokemon. And so I kind of didn't watch it for a long time out of principle, like, oh, it's a knockoff of Pokemon. So I kind of missed the Digimon train. I never really got much into it. What if this part was dark? Would that look good? If I colored this part? And then, like, down here? What if this was colored too? Nah. Okay, let's see what we got. A lot of this line art isn't closed, so I'm gonna throw in color, but I'll probably have to color by hand a lot of parts. We'll just see. We'll just have to see. So far, so good. Here comes the beige. Ew, that's not beige. That's not the beige I'm looking for. Closer. Maybe a little orangier. There we go. That's more along the lines of what I'm looking for, at least. I don't know about you, but I'm looking for this color. I'm gonna close this with the color and then color that in. Color this part. Missed the foot. This spot. And let's grab some kind of red. Oops, something's broken here. Okay, so where is it? Right here. There we go. Virus says I'm going to eat something and sleep. Have a good night. Good night, Virus. Thanks for coming. Your game looks good. I hope you can, like, really finish it up and make it a great game. Making games certainly isn't easy. And Zig says, you have seen a lot of anime. Well, so have I. Gundam, Naruto, Transformers, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Machine Robo, Hamtaro, Ryokai Watch. Wow, I've seen more than I can remember. Speaking of anime, I'm looking up songs from the American Death Note musical. Oh, what for movies I must recommend. Omae Omasu Dana. Omasao. I love that movie! That's one of my favorite anime movies of all time. Of course I've seen it. It's about characters eating each other. Yes. Big recommendation. You are Umasu. Or basically, Umasu means yummy, so it's you are yummy. a lot of the popular anime, like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, the big three, Fruits Basket, I actually haven't, like, Full Metal, the first one, I haven't actually seen them because I read the manga, and it's just kind of like, well, I'm already over here in Manga Town, so probably won't jump over, since anime takes twice as long to do anything and is usually not as good. I think I want to add some more foliage. In the background. I also never watched Cardcaptor Sakura. I did read some of the manga, but I mostly read Tsubatsa. And Shaman King was a good manga. Finally finished. It did. The author came back to finish it after supposedly canceling the series, so that was really nice. I was in college when it finally finished, or rather, I was in college when I found out that it finished. Now it's in its like sequel run where everyone has kids. I haven't seen that. It was a really surreal experience. One day when a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a while showed up, and like, I feel like when people meet old friends, they tend to talk about like their old classmates, you know, like, oh, you know, Susie is like going out with like was going out with Brad. Well, now they're like married and having kids. Isn't that crazy? Wow, time sure has flown. Did you know like Charlie has a job there doing that now? It's like, I can't believe it. All this time has gone by. Like, me and my friends were sitting there in the living room sipping tea. That's a lie. I didn't drink tea back then. But like, we were just chatting about Naruto characters, and we're like, oh wait, like who did what was that guy with the shadows, Shikimaru or whatever, like didn't he get with someone? No, but he's like, it's like he's got some like a job doing the Junin thing now, and like, oh well, Naruto and Hinata, can you believe Hinata of all people with Naruto? We were like talking about these characters like they were old friends, and they really were. Cause like when it was coming out, we were their age, and like it's been so long, essentially. It was so funny. Speaking of Naruto, in Japan, the voice actor for the titular character also did the character from Beast Wars, Neo. The character's name was Break, and he was a maximal penguin! Nice. Let's see. Didn't see it that way even as a kid. Oh, wait. Didn't see it that way even as a kid. Despite not caring how everyone saw Digimon. I never saw the anime either. Tail says that makes me so sad because Digimon was so different and such a better show. Yeah, I agree. Like, objectively, it was probably a better show. It was really different. You're right. Like, completely different. But I just, you know, you hear things on the playground and then you form opinions. Yeah, I tend to find more obscure ones somehow. Dragon Drive, Daigunder, Webbed Divers. Tail says, I missed a lot of early 2000s shoujo manga anime. Zig's like, Card Captors, I forgot that one. Tail says, no, Card Captor Sakura is so good. What? I can't read the manga. Also, you might be wondering how Transformers got on my list of anime. Well, 2 words, Unicorn Trilogy. But they got rid of it in the anime and they dubbed the anime really well, so now it's great to watch. There's something super gross. Interesting. Speaking of Naruto, in Japan, I think I read like 1 volume of Card Captors. There was a lot of stuff that I read like 1 volume of because my friend would bring it to school. Speaking of Naruto, oh, okay. Correct priorities. Oops, forgot about Spider Riders. Unicron. The R goes before the O. Unicron. Bumblebee. Stop lubricating the man. Let's see. Let's put this down here, this over here. Let's color everything. And how do I want to color this? How do I want to color these? Let's see. I think this will probably be gray sky today. I don't think it's a happy sort of weather. So let's go through and just touch in the little corners that are missing lines. And then I'll be able to toss in the color. Oh my goodness. We'll tell you the gross thing in Cardcaptor Sakura off stream. It's that level of gross. Ugh. Can't be worse than Kiss Players. Never read that one, but I've heard of it. Trust me, you don't want to know. Okay, Ziggs, I don't want to know. Anime can get pretty gross. So let's not push our luck, shall we? Let's see. I wonder what I watched after Inuyasha. Cause like Tsubasa was definitely after Inuyasha. Tsubasa Chronicles. Funny thing is, my friend would subscribe to Shonen Junk. Shonen Jump. And she would occasionally bring it to school. So I would get to read like chapter 20 of One Piece. And then a few weeks later I would get chapter 166. And that was how I consumed One Piece. Just like, okay, there's a cat guy with swords on his fingers. Alright. Oh, wait. I don't know how that one ended, but now there's fish people. Okay. Now there's fish people. Oh wait, no. just kidding. We're on a boat and there's people in like chef hats, but they're beating each other up. I don't know what's happening. Oh, this sky. I just realized the sky should be red. Orange. The sky should be orange. And yellow. Yes. That's the color of the sky. And we can cast the day a bit more pale. There we go. And let's see, what shall we do? I think the background line art, and there we go, that's it right there. I think I missed some of it. Some of it ended up in the foreground. Let's cut that out. Let's cut this. Let's take some of this. Take all of this over here. Just cut, paste. And this should all be closer to this color probably, but darker. Now just push it all back into the dark, into, not the dark, but into the background a little, so it doesn't compete. When you're doing a scene with background, you want to make sure that the things don't compete with the focus, and oftentimes that means either bringing the color down so that it's not pure black, or making the line art thinner. That can also help. Thick will always stand out against thin. I don't want this part to be so pushed back though. I want this part to stand out a little more. So I'm gonna bring these details forward a bit. Maybe even more down here. Okay, and then what do we got? We got, we're gonna change this to a cool color now. And, this is going right in here. Okay. Sure, let's take this down a notch too. 0, I will tell you the remember that. Internet does not help either, especially when with its so-called rules. While I wouldn't mind sticking around for this conversation, I need to go to bed. Catch you Sunday. See you later, Zigzagoon. Tail says, this sounds horrible and like something most of us would do to be able to read stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm almost done though. So don't worry, Ziggs. You're not missing much. I think I'll leave the ground that color. I will color that part. And then I actually do want to maybe put a little bit of this color in here. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna do it on a different layer. But I think I want it to be this okay, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I'm gonna follow this train of thought. So oh, accidentally colored his foot there. Somehow his foot ended up on the wrong layer. Make that black. Oh, speaking of Sunday, it's so funny. I had like a dream the other day that I was running around the wild area, and it was just me catching Pokemon in the wild area and not saying anything, and then Kadu would be in the background saying, "Zero, you're hosting a show. You have to entertain the people. Zero, you have to say stuff. You can't just Zero. You have to talk." And it was just me like struggling to find something to say, and just like stone-faced, just running around the wild area catching Pokemon, while Kadu like reprimanded me in the background. The kind of things I'm like that come up in my dreams these days are rather telling about what I have on my mind. The other day I had a dream that I had rats, but I had forgotten to feed them, and so they were like really angry at me, like they didn't like me anymore, and I felt so bad because they were like really hungry. It had been like days, and I just suddenly realized, because you know I don't have rats yet, so obviously I haven't been feeding them. So it was one of those, like, yeah, I haven't been feeding them, but I should have been in my dream, and so I was bad, and yeah, felt pretty bad about that. I usually don't have dreams about like real life stuff unless it's really been on my mind. Like the day that I first had a stress dream about work was the day I realized, like, okay, maybe I need to like take a break, because like I was yelling at customers in my dream. Like, you need to save it as a JPEG or something like that. Your resolution's too low. The size needs to have a 1-inch version. And then like I had to leave work in my dream and go upstairs to my room to like chill out. It was pretty funny, I guess, in hindsight. There, you have to talk. Ratskill says, OMG, stressful dreaming like that are the worst. Wow, typos. Tail says the wild area takes a lot of concentration though. Ratskill says, LMAO, you don't feed your rats and they get mad at you like Nintendogs! Tails says, I want a lucid dream tonight. Can you do that? Can you just turn it on? I've had dreams where I've had superpowers that allowed me to, or maybe not superpowers. Like, I think one time I was literally just a bird. So it wasn't like me with the power to fly, but it was like I was just a bird. But it would always be at a moment where I'm sitting on top of, like, I don't know, the Empire State Building or something, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, I understand that I flew up here, but if I try to fly now, I might fall. You know that feeling? Like, I know I got myself here, but I don't know how. And now that I'm thinking about it, I won't be able to do it again. It was that kind of... Maybe this whole section should just be blue. I think that's what's happening here. I think I'm trying to make it fade, and what I really should do is that this whole part should just be this color. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I think this part. Maybe I need to lighten this one. Once again, I need to block off all the parts that aren't closed off, just so I can use the paint bucket tool. Yeah. And so that's what I'm going to do. To introduce our guest star is what I'm here to do, and it really makes me happy to introduce to you. I want to watch The Muppets again. The Muppet Show was good. I didn't watch The Muppets until college, when my friend found out I had never seen The Muppets, and thought it was such a travesty that she went home, got her entire Muppets box set collection, brought it back, and forced me to watch it. Thank goodness for roommates. Oops. It was the same with Batman the Animated Series. She did that with that series too. Gosh, I don't like it so much. I think it needs to be darker. I made it too light. There you go. And you know what? I'm also going to change the background line art color to make it fade. Let's see. I have a technique that helps me do it. It's not like a perfect guarantee thing, but it works most of the time. Ratskull says, I've had dreams where I have wings, but I need to consciously move them to fly, and I can't get it right. Tail says, Zero, that sounds strangely hilarious. Record scratch. Yeah, that's me. Bet you're wondering how I got here. Well, so am I. I have to say, it is kind of funny. What are you posting now? Oh my goodness! No! It's adorable! Oh no! It's so cute! Oh, Rat, I am looking forward to your Nuzlocke. Have really low drawing stamina tonight, but I doodled my first catch on my lock. Tail says, I'm also wondering how to get down. Oh, that's really good. Thank you. Why am I never considered changing the background line art color to help with focus in my comic? It's not an immediately obvious thing. I didn't do it myself until later on. But it's a nice let me just add some of this blue up here. Let's see. And I know we're out of time, but I feel like it's necessary to put a shadow on these two. And when it's backlit like this, it's just way easier to put a shadow on everything and then erase out the edges to create rim lighting than to do the hard work of like coloring everything in. Oh, I seem to have missed a spot. What kind of non-anime were you guys raised on? I'm a little sad I didn't see any Muppets when I was a kid. Oops. You guys watch the Muppets? Shoot, I think some light on here, some on here, and a little tiny bit here. Oh shoot, no. Like, were you guys a movie kind of kid or a TV show or a book? Were you more into the books? I used to read a lot of Magic Treehouse as a kid. I'm surprised they never made a movie out of it. when making kids books into full feature films was a big thing for a while there. I'm surprised they didn't pick up Magic Treehouse. That would have been a great one. To tackle. Highlight right here. And it really makes me happy to introduce to you. Alright guys, I think that might be it. I'm not even gonna highlight the Shroomish. Just gonna leave him in the dark there. I think maybe the tree needs a little bit of a shadow. Let's pop in a little darkness. Hold on. Hold on a sec. Take that out. And liner, let's okay. Well, I want to get rid of the foliage, the tree, the blue leaves behind this tail, because technically I feel like you wouldn't see that. The way that it's like the scene is laid out, technically the Breloom should be further into the distance, and the tree would probably be like, the leaves would probably be further up and you wouldn't see them. But I'm not gonna mess with that right now. I'm not gonna bother. We're gonna leave it like that because it is time to do our finishing segment where I draw Pokemon that you suggest in the chat. Go ahead and just put whatever Pokemon you want, and you know what? It's been a long time since we've last brought out our old friend, the Pokemon Challenges list. I haven't done one of these in so long. To remind you, I either have to draw your Pokemon from memory, I have to draw it as a fusion or a variant. A fusion being just a mashup of the design, a variant being an actual like like altercation of the species. So let's say you breed the two Pokemon together, you get a form of one of them, different from a fusion, which is more just a conglomerate, like a Frankenstein monster. A different element. This one was fun. I did this with Charmander, and I don't do this one often, but it's changing the element of the Pokemon. A random animal, just like turning it into another animal. You know, Breloom is supposed to look like a kangaroo, sort of, but what would happen if it was, I don't know, a cat? Animation, that one usually takes a while. Palette picker. I might replace this with something else, but it's basically a random palette challenge. I'm usually pretty bad at those, and while a challenge can be entertaining, this one usually just ends up being a bit frustrating. Mimikyu or Bannet. This is just a fun one where you can imagine, because Bannet is a Pokemon that is formed out of a Poké Doll, what if the doll that it comes to life from was of another species? Like, maybe the doll originally looked like Shroomish. What would the Bannet of that look like? Same with Mimikyu, if it like mimicked something other than a Pikachu. Mega Evolution, self-explanatory. Style Shift, I'm not sure exactly what the rules for it are, but it's basically to make it like, if it's not cute, make it cute, I guess. That's kind of all like realistic. I could go realistic with it. I can, you know, I don't know all the styles that I have in my repertoire. Anthro or Gajinka, self-explanatory. Nature or mood, basically make it into a character. Give it more personality. Peanut Gallery, I can explain that if that comes up, and then Pokemon redesign. Let's see what Pokemon we got. Let's catch up with the chat. It's a nice. It's a me, Mario. Backlight shading is so much fun. Rugrats! Yes! I used to have a Rugrats CD-ROM game that was really fun, but I have no idea where it is anymore. Wild Thornberries was fun. I liked that one. I liked the movie. The Wild Thornberries movie was really good. Ratsko says, I was raised on watching Avatar: The Last Airbender with my brother on Nicktoons at our grandparents, but we also watched a lot of Disney. Oh man, to have grown up with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can't imagine. Like, that came out when I was not a child anymore, but it was still amazing to follow. Ratskull says, in terms of books, I read a lot of Magic Treehouse. Then in the later half of elementary school, I shifted to Warrior Cats and Harry Potter. Yes. Zero, you just said you were done. Zero, stop noodles. It's fine. Oh, free. Person with a different type? Persian. Persian with a different type. Persian's a normal type. So, Ratsko says, please draw a Pat Rat. I love those funky little prairie dogs. And wait, no. Or try electric type Watchog because it looks like it should be electric ground, to be honest. Okay, looks like we both want, you both want, a different type. We both want a different type. And we have two normals. Wait. Will you do dual types? I can certainly try. If I must, I can certainly try. Okay, so we first have a Persian. A Persian, if I can remember how it looks. Have these lovely black ears. don't remember if the tail is curly. Persian is one of those cat Pokemon that acts like a house cat but looks like a wild cat and makes me slightly uncomfortable because of it. It's like you should be in a zoo behind a cage where you can't kill me. But instead you're like in my home on my couch. Lipard is the other one that's like, I don't like seeing you just wandering around free. You should be in the jungle, very far away from me. Looking to another trainer. No, you squirt the Persian with a squirt bottle. Dark and electric. Honestly, I just been thinking about wanting a dark and electric type Pokemon, cause that sounds like it would look cool. Tails, you absolute fool. You moronic moron of a fool. Tails, you're a foolish tail imp, because we already have a dark Persian, and we all know that it doesn't look cool. I just looked it up and I'm like, oh my goodness. I had not seen this in a while. It is still hilarious. You know what's coming. You know I gotta. 'Cause we already have a dark Persian. It's basically done half the work for me. I don't have to guess what it might look like if we were to get a dark Persian. We know exactly what it'll look like. Okay, and you know what darkness and electricity make me think of? It makes me think of storm clouds. So, my idea is kind of a... It's starting to look like a Louis the which one am I thinking of? Like a powdered wig situation, which is not what I was going for. What was I going for? I was going for more of a Chinese dragon dog. Why the heck is that for food? It's for my money. Oh my goodness. Also, the store comment even pretty dope, I gotta say. Make it not terrible. No, you did. Why now? Oh. Oh my goodness. And no, I haven't seen it chase you in the wild area because I've been told to stay very far away from it. Okay, I'm kind of losing the Persian though, so let me see. I think I need to bring its nose up slightly. It's starting to look a little less cat-like. That kind of helps. Maybe the chin was too much. Big hair time. This Persian is big hair time. Just go with the curls, I guess. Where's the Persian? I don't want to lose the Persian. See, I need to put more clouds on its feet. The feet are a great place to put clouds. Oh, that's not how Persian's feet look. Persian has some dumb feet. Let's make it Persian feet. Oh my goodness. I hate it. Let me do it again. Sorry, I just wasted everyone's time. But I wasn't really paying attention. There, at least I can see the feet now, and it's not just like right up into the clouds. And let's give him some spikes. The electric Pokemon tend to have spikes. There. I cheated a little bit. I used the actual Pokemon's pose to like show that it's the Pokemon, because otherwise it just looks like some weird cat. It's like, no, it has to, you have to understand it's a Persian. It's a dark Persian. Rawr. Let me see if I can get this shaded in quickly without picking up the pen. So that you can tell what parts are dark and which parts are electricity. I like how Tails is like, make it not dumb. It's like, oh, Tails. My very good friend Tails. Do you not know me by now? I am incapable of not grabbing the humor when it's presented to me. Though I did, as dumb as it looks, I did try to make it the best that it could be. In all of its glory. It's the weather Pokemon. Alright. You make terrifying things all the time. The Breloom was big fear. Is this not also somewhat of a fear? Let's see. Also the Storm Clementus. Oh, thank you. You need the bike to escape Liepard because you aren't any match for it. It's like as fast as the bike. Ghastly Persian. Hello? Hi, Leonard. Oh man, it reminds me of a lion's mane. I dig it. It's so smug. Hello, Leonard Mopache. It's a lie you make. Oh, okay. Zero, I own cats. Congratulations. Alright, let's try the Patrat. The Patrat. as a electric... Oh, no, you said Watchog as an electric ground. Let's see. It's like hard because you're kind of right. It kind of looks like it's already an electric ground, you know? So like, how much would it be actually changing it, and how much would it just be like the elements that it already has? Okay, first of all, let's bring it down. What would an electric ground even look like? Do we have any? Let me think. What's an electric ground Pokemon? I don't think Stunfisk is electric ground. Okay, my idea is that it's like sort of, now that it's electric ground, it has to I'm torn because it's like I want the tail to be like the grounding, but I also want it to be like a weather vane. Okay, so regular Watchog is standing upright. An electric ground type Watchog is now like, it runs on all fours because it's grounded, but its tail stands straight up because it's like, you know, it catches electricity, I guess. And I guess it's like, butt is really spiky. And I'm gonna look up a Watchog. Not because I don't know what it looks like, but because I want to get its specific look. Because I tend to think of just Fire Dog when I think Watchog, and it's slightly different. I would look that thing in the eyes and squirt it with this water bottle. I would die, but I wouldn't die a coward. Ratsko, our hero, Tail Simp. Ratsko says, I mean, Stunfisk is electric ground, but maybe that's not a good comparison. You're right. I think maybe this is tough to try and change, so, like, no pressure. Tail says, Zero, I forgot what Watchog looks like. Pass it all. Zero forgot what... Can't believe Zero's a fake Watchog fan. No! I know what it looks like. I know. Mm. It's just, I want to get, like, it exact. Okay? You always use reference, they say. I wonder if it would still have puffy cheeks. What are the cheeks? The cheeks are specifically for the berries, right? Oh, what if the, like, straps, oopsies, are now on the butt? Right? Because, like, okay, so the tail is straight up because it's a weather vane. It's catching the electricity. And then, now it's got, like, pants? I don't know. Um... Hmm. Trying to keep some of the caution sign aesthetic, you know? The way it's, like, basically a construction worker. Oh, you know what these cheeks are perfect for now? It's got big cheeks, right? And what do all, like, electric rodents need? Cheeks to store electricity in. So it's perfect. We're gonna put some big old red cheeks on those cheeks. There we go. Perfect. It's like it was made for this job. Big old red cheeks. And, hmm. Okay. And then where would the ground type come from? Well, it's on all fours, so that's kind of part of it. Let me think. I mean, it's like... It's brown. It's brown, it's, I'm trying to think, like, not just adding rocks to it, you know? Like, I've never really thought much about the ground typing. Let me see. Rat wearing pants! He's ascended! If a watchog wore pants, would he wear them like this or like this? Cheek on cheeks on cheeks. Watchog, but blushing like ooh ooh. Watching its severed head move around was pretty trippy. Pretty trippy. Bzz, bzz. You know what? You're just gonna have to take my word for it. It's part ground. It digs or something, I guess. You know, it's not always like obviously apparent in the design, okay? So you know, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. It's electric ground. Let's I'm gonna finish this off by tossing a little color just so we know where everything is. Alright, we're gonna say brown here. 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 That. Like that. Like that. Okay. And then here. 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 Yeah, why not? The whole face is brown now. Everything's brown now. There's no more of that white part. And, eyes, I guess, would still be red. Because that's just part of the watchog. You can't change that. Cheeks are red. Yellow. Yellow. Maybe I should have made his teeth into like a shovel. Then he would actually be a digging type. I know digging ground types are either part rock, so they're like just rock things that are alive. Or they're like they have things on them that are diggy, like Drillbur has the big old claws. Right? Or they're like an animal that tends to live in the ground. Like, I guess Sandile maybe? Though I guess alligators don't really live in the ground. But he's the color of sand. They're ground types when they're the color of sand. Maybe, let me see if this... Let me make it yellow. Alright, you crazy kids. That's all you get for tonight. I'm bushed. What do you call it? I'm cream cracker. I'm cream crackered, y'all. It's time for sleep. But there is our electric ground watchog and our dark electric Persian. I just wanna spice it up a little. Is that so much to ask? I mean, the watchdog got some color. I wanna add some color to this one too. Okay. Alright. Well, where is... Okay. There we go. Well, let me catch up with the rest of the stream. Looks great. Sorry, that may have been more challenging than intended. My logic was like, make it electric. It already looks like what? And then I was like, wait, it already looks like what? That's alright. It was fun. You know, you just need one concept, like the tail straight up in the air to catch electricity. And once you get that one concept, the rest of it just kind of falls in around it. Imagine this watchdog and the Persian being best friends. The best of friends. Oh, you're the best of friends. Tail looks like an Xmas tree star. Topper, dig it, brown type, paint it brown. Think it's canon that pet rats do burrow. Yeah, and it ended up being just normal. Come on, Game Freak. But yeah, thank you all for joining for the stream. I'm gonna stop with the noodling and get with the sleeping because it is pretty late in the night. But as always, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you all next week with hopefully some more Pokemon families. Catch y'all later. Keep your noses clean. Bye-bye.